I'm not sure as you will arrive at the same God. So I need to put that right in one of the previous recordings. That you will love God, your God, in your way. He will respond to that. Not only that, you will respond to that in others. I really think that is highly likely, that you will find that their sincerity as regards their view,
speed limit of 60,
which is not your view, but is their view, their sincerity, their earnestness is what's right. In some sense, we've always got it a bit wrong, and perhaps we've got it majorly wrong. But we're earnestly
keep up with the car,
seeking God. That's what counts. You see, it's not that I require the company of perfect people, adults of the kingdom of heaven, if you like, the heavenly host, other children of God. Oh, many of them, wonderful company. I mean, perhaps some are going to be a bit difficult because they've got such an authoritarian view of God. It's hard for me to relate to, perhaps, but basically,
speed limit of 50,
one is open to the fact that all the children are different. They all have they have their unique view of you, just as they are unique. In fact, it's their view of you that is the uniqueness that they are. And that's lovely. We seek a harmony, of course. Most earnestly we seek a harmony. Perhaps some children more than others. But do you see, it's not that we have to conform. We're not making some set of clones. We are individuals. And that's the loveliness. Perhaps we're not all perfect in the kingdom of heaven, but complete in some way. Or perhaps I'm not clear. I think it could well be that our particular view of God is unique to us. Whether that causes friction, or whether that friction is in some sense, I hesitate to say, but part of the richness, part of the loveliness of heaven, that there is that aliveness of difference. I've got a previous notion of everything in absolute harmony, but
speed limit of 50,
perhaps that's not quite. Or perhaps there's some other state that's not quite what we understand by harmony, and not quite what we understand by discord either. I'm clear, straight discord is a problem. But there may be something short of complete harmony, or slightly different to harmony, that allows for differences that are in some sense not compatible, but ever offer the opportunity of being resolved, and are resolved without crushing the differences. They seek ways of harmonizing the discord, the difference, the inharmony. And there's always that overruling love and desire that seeks that. And it's the differences between the people that set the scene for the opportunity of such a kindness to be expressed, that we harmonize despite any inharmony that would otherwise arise. Our motives are, our ability to harmonize in states of disharmony is being trained here on Earth. We may fail miserably in various lessons and training, of course, here, but that in some sense we're being instilled with an ability that's going to be of great value, necessary, part of the richness of heaven, that we are going to be able to resolve, cope, or handle that which would otherwise be discord between us, but is not, because we've had this character so finely tuned in us to be able to handle perfectly, beautifully discord.
Speed limit of 50.
Not that the differences are not there, but that we have been trained to know how to handle it beautifully. All of us. And in that sense, there is still a harmony with an individuality, a great variety of different understandings of our relationship to God. And not just different understandings, but different valuations and evaluation. Yeah, I think I mean that, more like that. Thank you, Heavenly Father.
Speed limit of 80.
Yes, you see, it is this inharmony from which springs the eternal creativity of heaven, of God in us. It's the eternal womb of the new, the creative, the possible, the birth of the unique. It actually comes from the differences, the contrast, and the interaction of these unique individuals with each other, with the presence of God, whose lovely company too. A wonderful family that ever generates infinite newness and goodness. It's a fundamental of creativity, this interaction between difference, different appreciations, views, values. And yet each individual filled with a love and a devotion to all that is good and all that can be good, to all this fullness of God that we are part of. Your presence is heaven to us. Thank you, Heavenly Father. It is uncertainty, the not knowing, the endless possibilities that is foundational in God's being and therefore ours. We are part of all that He is. We make up a creativity, a being, a presence that is endlessly, creatively wonderful. Life eternal. God, we, His family, are that. Fantastic meaning, life, joy and peace, blessedness, creativity without end. That's who we are. Thank you, dearest friend. Wonderful one, thank you, Heavenly Father. We are the being wonderful, ever the potential of the greater, of the more wonderful. We are the past, the present and the future. The seed of all creation. We are His presence in us and all around us, in whom we live and move and have our being. We are the eternal friend within our Heavenly Father. Part of His very spirit. Fully able to be a wonderful company, ever present, ever loyal, ever loving. A complete fellowship that ever evolves its completeness. With the joy of heaven and heaven itself. We are what makes up the family. Thank you, Heavenly Father. Your presence is heaven to us. Thank you, Heavenly Father. Mum and I were closer than close. I can remember sitting in the garden on the swinging chair and big garden, acre and a half. Big lawn in front of us, a small pond and a flower bed as well. And the summer, English summer, afternoon, spending with Mum time. And I was always making Mum a cup of tea. Can I get you a cup of tea, Mum? Are you all right, Mum? Always asking, are you all right, Mum? Can I get you a cup of tea? Can I do something? So I went in to make her a drink. This is playful. And I thought, does she notice what's in a cup of tea? I mean, I'm always making her tea. Tea in England is fairly strong. Teaspoon of tea per person, not quite that. And we didn't have sugar, Mum and I, but we did have milk in it, just a little, so that it's opaque, it's not just brown tea water. And usually, a large cup, English size cup. And I thought, I was in a playful mood. I don't know what age I was. Could have been 11 or 12, I don't know. I put every powder I could find in the kitchen, a spoon of it, in this cup of tea. And I think I used hot water, so that it was. And I then sort of blended these powders, custard, gravy. I don't know what powders there were in the larder. Spoon of everything, mixed it in. Got a consistency or an appearance that was more or less the colour of tea, that sort of brownness, opaque, of course. Took it out there for Mum, just to see if she'd see the difference. I wanted to see her reaction, her face, as she sort of wrestled with something that was just a bit different to what she was slightly expecting. So she's sipping this brew that I'd made. She's sort of puzzled, I think, with what is this drink? Because, of course, normally I would always make the tea so the way she has it, it's always the way she has it, the way we always have it. We always do it the same. It was as if I just wanted the fun of testing her with something different. And I don't think she wasn't consciously interacting with me on the sheer playfulness of what I'd done. I mean, she sort of realised I'd done it and, okay, I expected puzzlement in her mind of, I wonder why I did that. Playfulness, you see. Loving playfulness. You wouldn't mean any harm, you know that. And she knows that. And she's sort of wondering what it means. And I'm delighting in the fun of being different. Something different. I haven't a full idea of what that means, what that is. And I didn't do it again, of course. I say of course, but I didn't do it again through time. Perhaps it's part of that breakout of that delight in the difference, the experiment. I mean, within the context of loving care and friendship and interaction and joy, but creative, an expression of, is one really aware of the difference? How are you going to handle this? Almost creating a new situation just for the sheer fun of seeing what we do in different situations. I mean, you need the safety of love and care of each other. And it was within that, of course. Thank you, Heavenly Father. You know, I wonder if it's the confrontation of the difference that gives birth to the ever-evolving creativity that flows from within us, expressed in the mind of God around us, the creation. The fullness of life eternal. Thank you, Heavenly Father.